everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Cyberpunk Pro Wrestling. So, we are deep in, from where we last were, our small size promotion. We just had our first pay-per-view. It did okay. We have an issue, though, in that we spent a lot of money on that show. Now, granted, our ticket sales were pretty good, and we especially are going to be getting sponsorship soon. I think what we need to look at is maybe broadcasting deals at this point. I don't think we're actually going to be able to get anybody, though, is really the question. Can we get anybody as a small size? Nobody yet. So that's going to be a problem, because we definitely spent a lot. Now, we're not going to spend as much for the next main show. We kind of put everybody on that show. But we definitely have to be a little bit smarter maybe in our money. I just didn't want anyone to be upset. We also have the issue of production warnings at this point. Not the end of the world, because there's probably not that many people that there's a lot of people that are against us right now, right? So what would be our upgrade to music? Would be generic, $250 a show versus not paying anything, $500 a show. So, we should look at maybe some of these. Next step up would be, okay, we can't afford $1,000 a show. So, these penalties, how they tend to work is you get penalized based on your popularity because you just look more amateurish than your rivals. So we have a lot of rivals in our slot, if you will, in our category. We can't really afford to upgrade these at this point. So we're paying $150 a show for this. We could upgrade to amateur, which would be a basic entrance for wrestlers, custom ring apers, and amateur video editing. It would cost $500 a month plus $150 a show. That's not horrible, though it does cost us $500 to get the initial capital to kind of build the thing. So that would be an option. I don't have that money right now. I'm not going to do it quite yet. I think the easy one we'll do is music, which is going to generic. Once upgraded, it costs $250 a show. It is not horrible. Versus paying nothing. That gets us one penalty down. Probably we'll at some point look at production values. I think live experience, it just $1,000 is too much per show. $500 is too much per show. But I think we can handle this $150 a show plus $500 a month. We're already paying $150 a month, or $150. We're only paying $150 per month, so it is going to be costly, but it might be worth it. For now, the music shouldn't be too bad, and that will fairly easily, I think, at least give us one production penalty down. We can also decide whether we want to do internet or home video. Home video will give us more money, but the internet will get us a little bit more popular. But though we get no income from it. I think we'll keep it on DVD for now because we kind of need all the money we can get. We can also look at getting hyper specific in our merchandising, because we could do custom control. No, I guess you can't. Oh, yes, I can. If I did custom here, I could go in here and I could actually go through the specific details of who I think we should merchandise. I think for now, conservative will be fine. What's the estimated cost? I never looked at this panel. Following figures are your current estimated monthly costs. Current wage bill is $0. Estimated sponsorship income is $4,300. Oh man, this is a lot. I should look at this more often. Estimated marketing expenditures is about $500. Admin costs is $1,000. Legals $300. So we're paying about $230. So we're making about $2,000 a month extra from sponsorship. It's paying for half of our other expenditures. And we're getting about $1,000 in ticket sales. and about $700 in merchandise. So as long as we keep our performance around under 3,000 a show, we should be fine. Now, we only have one pay-per-view this month. We're not pay-per-view, just regular show. We have our regular Cyberpunk. We did Random Access Memories. We'll have another show after that, which will be, I guess, June, July. I think we might push it to July, actually. So let's go ahead and make that now. Cyberpunk. We'll call it short-circuited. 2 hours seems fine. 2 hours 30 even was maybe too much, so we'll just do 2 hours. Fixed location we will maintain in the United States for tri-state area. Do we want to do a one-off? I think we'll just do normal. Calendar be important. Pretty much any time of the week. I think we'll do a Wednesday. Third week in July. So that gives us a couple shows to kind of work with. We were originally talking about doing 2 shows a month. I don't know if we can afford that. So we'll kind of do it more intermittent to kind of build up that money, because we definitely took a hit. And my main concern is that on these shows, we will get penalties if people aren't on them. And people want to be on the bigger shows. So if you're not on a special, like, annual show, they get pissed off. They're like, hey, wait, we should be on here. And that's why if you ever look at, like, a WWE and you're like, why are 50 people in this battle royal before the show? They literally want to get everybody on the show, even if it doesn't make any sense at all. And we have to kind of keep that in mind as we're doing it. Now we have... I don't think we're going to do any hiring. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do any hiring. I think we're pretty good where we're at right now. So I don't want to get out of control with the roster. So for now, it's just about building these storylines up. I think we need another storyline in here or so, and then the Whispers is not going great. And we might toss somebody out. Like Ace Austin's not jiving with fans. It might just be time to let him go. Maybe find somebody else. Because we don't have that many people. Wasting on person fans aren't going to like might not be worth it. We'll take a look at it though. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to Cyberpunk. All right, let's see here. So got some production changes we have to deal with. LW just moved their music level to local. Just going to screw us up. We finished last in the tri-state area, which is unfortunate. We'll have to look at what we need to do here. So that is going to give us a regional battle issue, but we should be okay. Pay raise request from Darby. I'm going to give you half. You're annoyed, that's fine. You'll deal with it later. I can't afford it. So we moved some money up. Not a lot. We're still running a little light here in funds. What's the morale issues going on? Annoyed. Annoyed at new gimmick. Yeah. Irritated being left off Cyberpunk. Irritated. Okay. Well, listen. You're going to have to deal with it. So, our production warnings now, unfortunately, I think are going to still be a problem because now, yes, one of our rivals is better, CCW, than us, because we just have generic music, but there's no way we're going to afford to do 500 a show. We're just going to have to deal with it. We're barely making enough money to maintain that. Really, what we want to do is, at this point, we want to just not be last in regional battles, because that's going to be a big hit for us if we get hurt from that. We don't want to be number 8. We want to at least move up a little bit. And maybe that looks like finding a slightly bigger celebrity to be on our show. Something we'll look at maybe on the next episode. For now, we're kind of locked into our next show. We got to play it a little lean, but I think we'll be fine. Let's go ahead and see. So on to the show. Oh, we made a little bit more money now, actually. It's not bad. Let's move on to Cyberpunk. All right, so we have some locker room incidents. We got some factors. The success of random access memories is doing fairly well for us. Prix is still out injured. Let's see what the incident is. Uh-oh. It's just a wrestler's court. Okay. Chris is brought by wrestler's court, accused of forgetting to shake another worker's hand, entering a locker room, and sentenced to buy her drinks. Easy. So we do need to make a friendship somewhere here. Somebody, at least, please. I'm kind of shocked none of the Hawks are friends. Well, let's do Bushido and Kimberly. Nothing. Anything would be nice. We are going to be in the tri-state. It's probably going to be a generic venue. Still want to make a venue. I think it's a good idea. How many people are we expecting here? 214 fans. Which is not bad, considering our kind of larger supercard was 243, so that's moving to the right direction. Let's go ahead and book it. We're going to try to play it lean. We're not going to go crazy. I think we might make another storyline going on in here. We were running a little light on our storylines. We have 3, which is enough. I think we only need 2, but we're not quite. We're like just barely hitting that heat mark. The Whispers is kind of flat right now. We might do. I think we might end up doing like maybe a tag team one that we can add up. Maybe get some of the Hawks in there. Something for Bushido, something like that would probably be good. So that'll probably be our focus on this episode anyways. Is probably building up that lower card, saving some money. All right, let's go ahead and book it. All right, small show. We're trying to save some money. We still had to use a lot of people, but that's what it is sometimes. Though we are running pretty lean. We're doing about 70 minutes out of 75, 9 segments. Ain't bad. Let's go ahead and check out the June edition of Cyberpunk. So we start off, begin the show with a kind of a squash match with Cyberhawk, the tag team, the champions, versus Nexus and Young Boy Jody, our poor jobber. Obviously, Young Boy Jody takes the pin. Doesn't have much heat, has terrible wrestling. Cyberhawk, though, defeats Nexus and Young Boy Jody in 5 minutes, with Nighthawk defeating Young Boy Jody by submission. Nexus and Young Boy Jody have excellent chemistry. It's interesting. It's good to know. That's not what I would have expected, but, something to do with them. I mean, Nexus is a heel, Young Boy Jody's a face, so maybe we do something against each other. Not a bad idea. Nexus is actually a weaker performer, too. That's an idea. Got the show to a strong start, though. And, it did fine. Formation of Diakatan. Yeah, I guess that kind of bleeds into that, I suppose. I don't know why that. Well, I know why that got pinned, but that's sort of our other storyline we were talking about. Not really sure why it started with that segment, but whatever. Got a 26. It's okay, for a start of the show. I can't really hate it that much. We do have 222 people in the show, which is nice. So we're kind of getting close to that kind of range. Basically where we were with our last pay-per-view, which is kind of impressive. We have a segment, sort of a pre-match thing. Bushido comes out thinking he's going to be fighting Briggs, but Volgar shows up, and obviously trying to play off of Gaff's, gang dominance. And it looks like it's going to be a handicap match until Chris Statlander, who had previously was assisted by Bushido, comes out and evens out the teams. And obviously they start the belt. And Dia Katana versus the Boosters occurs. Dia Katana ends up defeating the Boosters in 12 minutes. Bushido defeats Briggs by submission. Didn't have much heat. Terrible wrestling. Did get the crowd hotter, though. Dislocated hip. Ouch. God, that doesn't sound good. No major improvements. They're all about evenly matched. They're all within that low to mid 20 ranges. And obviously our rating reflects that. It's 25E. It's okay. Formation Dia Katana storyline advances with this segment. That dislocated hip, though. That's not going to be good. And obviously we have a segment afterwards with, after defeating them, they officially shake hands and then kind of form their alliance, thus making Dia Katana official. Gained heat, did pretty good, 32, which ain't bad. The two of them now officially a tag team and is showing a little dominance on the lower end of the tag teams. We have a squash match with Eddie Kingston, who was I wasn't originally going to put on here, but he was upset for not being on the previous Cyberpunk, so I have to kind of put him on here. He squashes Ace Austin, who the crowd does not like to see, which is why we're just going to use him to job him out for a little bit. Kingston was off his game, which is unfortunate. Austin had a 22, Kingston had a 37. No improvements, but basically ends up defeating him in 6 minutes with a sliding D. Especially when he doesn't have the back fist to the future. 29E, it's not bad. Afterwards, Kingston does a promo, grabs a microphone, basically says he's going to dominate everyone, that no one's in his league, and that he's already proven it. So just kind of the typical kind of heel slander and lies and calumny, as he kind of just basically calls out everyone as not being worthy to face him. It's okay. It's a 41. That's not bad. Speaking of promos, we have a promo with Gaff and Briggs and Volgar with his team. They're kind of just sitting back like putties in the background. And Gaff does a promo, says, he doesn't play fair. Kimberly says, you just be playing fair, but everything in Cyberpunk's a numbers game. If Kimberly wants to face him, she has to accept that he's got a crew. And that if she really wants to face him even, then she needs to play the numbers game because he's not going to snoop, he's not going to lower himself to that. It does okay. It's pretty weak promo. None of these guys are particularly good at what they're doing, but it's what it is. And in the main event, it's okay. Neuromancer fights the Whisper. The Whisper ends up defeating Neuromancer in 12 minutes by submission. Both of them were tiring and off their game for a 12-minute match. Jeez. Got the crowd buzzing. Neuromancer had a 29. Whisper had an 18. Oh, boy. I'm 26. I guess looking at this isn't horrible, but not quite what I would want for a main event. And speaking of a bad segment here, afterwards, Neuromancer starts getting assaulted by the Whisper until Brian Connor runs out to fight the Whisper back and saving Neuromancer. We advanced the storyline. Thankfully, we didn't lose heat for the storyline, but that is not what I wanted to see from this main final angle here. Christ. So we're still getting hits for our production values. We did increase our popularity, though, which is important. Boy, that's a bad way to end it. I think we're going to have to look at maybe hiring some people. I think we have to look at where our talent is. We need a stronger main event at this point. So we'll look at that and see what we can do. I'm going to give Eddie Kingston, I'm not going to be mean right now. I'm going to give some encouragement. Compliment for good performance. Who was the other one that was really... go young boy Jody. How about that? Praise you for a great performance. You did great being a jobber. Okay. Check the mail here. Injured. Ugh. Just can't win. Just can't win with these injuries. What's your physical here? Dislocated hip, 27 days. Injury frequencies medium. Yeah, it's I don't really change this that much. It's what it is. Okay, we're just gonna. I'm convinced that I'm cursed, and that just people are destined to get murdered by me. We did lose a lot of money there. We're down 1,000. Did pretty good with ticket sales though. 2,200. We only did one show, so that's not bad. But yeah, we're definitely hurting on the sponsorships. So the sponsorships will come in. Though we were going to be getting about 4,300, so that'll swing up, and we'll get back here. But we're not quite making money. We just have to be careful. I think it's like you go into bankruptcy if you're like 3 months in the hole. We won't be, but we just have to be careful about that. It takes money to make money. So as long as we're at the end of the month looking in the clear, and we're going to be, we'll be fine. We don't have another show until the 27th. I think in that meantime, what we'll do probably next episode is we'll look at maybe getting some people. So let's think about who we want for our main event. I need at least one other main eventer, I think. I'd like a maybe slightly stronger upper mid card too, because the Whisper is currently slated as a main eventer, and I don't think he's got the talent yet for it. Neuromancer is free, which is awesome, but ends up losing his steam too quickly. Razorhawk's fine. Eddie Kingston's fine. Kimberly's fine. Having an extra in there would be nice. And I think I would like to move Whisper down to a upper mid carder or something like that. I think our mid card's fine. Our lower mid card might need a little bit more boosting. So that's an option too. If you guys got recommendations, let me know. Anyways, guys, that was Cyberpunk Pro Wrestling. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.